Fucking collars are flying up and shit.
Did you tell me that because her eye has got that color that there's a connection between that and the deafness?
Yes. Same genetic weirdness that made her eye blue, made her ears closed. So I wouldn't. Well, they're open. She can hear some shit. She just can't hear everything. Well, welcome in again to the Proper Scoundrels podcast, where two guys sit in a room and talk to each other. It's totally not gay.
It's where we solve all of the world's problems. It's kind of like a
Mhm.
barbershop in a way.
You know what? I've been trying to get my friends, like, or just a friend, just let's have a guy day, like once a month, twice a month. Let's go to the barber shop. Let's get edged up. Let's look good. Let's feel good. Let's go out and do guy things. And everybody's like, "Oh no, I don't want to do that." I'm like, "The fuck, man! Like, let's just go and get a fade. Let's
Absolutely.
go and have some coffee in ceramic mugs." But
Yeah.
they don't want to. They're like, "Oh no, my wife this and my kids that." And I'm like, "How are you ever going to be a man for these people if you're not ever a man?"
Yeah, no joke. No joke.
So I don't know, but yeah, man, I really want to begin a process of, like, on Saturday going to the barber shop, devoting time to being a man with a man, but 5 feet apart because we're not gay.
5 feet.
Yeah, that's just safety zone.
I thought it was
Two
6.
guy, two guys in a hot tub, 5 feet apart because they're not gay.
I haven't heard that one.
That's an old meme. That's old. That's like from the Vine.
It's from the vine. Ooh,
Yeah.
we're going old school, boy.
So what's been going on in the world? What have you heard that you like? What have you heard that you dislike?
You know, the internet is a very interesting place. You know, like
Agreed.
the I've got friends that are far as left as you can get, and then I've got friends that are very far right, and I just see all kinds of stupid stuff all over the internet. You know, like social media just gets old sometimes because you're like, you've got some people that's calling this 1939 Germany, you know, because we just elected Hitler in office. And then you have some people that's like, wow, raise hell, praise Dale.
God, yes. Love them. I love all of them. Be extreme. Be loud and be visible so I know. Don't be doing the shit undercover. Be out there. Let me see it. I'm just keep a little tag. You're like, that's one.
Mm-hmm.
That's
What,
totally not communist at all, keeping a tag on somebody and deciding which one they are. I think somebody had a list about that kind of stuff.
you think so?
I think Schindler did. Yeah, I don't know. He kept a list. I'm just saying, he was a name taker.
I need to do some research on that dude because, like, I know like bits and pieces about him, but like, I think I need to dive into him.
You know, I think there's a movie you can watch, and that way you can just, like,
But is the
cliff
movie
notes.
accurate?
It won a bunch of awards, and all that's done by the Jews, so I would assume so. I mean, they wouldn't give you an award if you made the Jews look bad, would they? Like, why
Mm,
would Jewish people have an interest in giving awards to a movie that made them look inappropriately?
yeah, fair enough. Fair,
Just saying.
very fair.
Yeah. It's at least a place to start without having to, like, go through articles and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I might give it a look. You know, have you seen the movie Interstellar?
No.
Man, one of the guys at work, he's one of them people that like can't take no for an answer. And he's been begging me to watch Interstellar. So I finally did. And it won a lot of awards, but not a fan of it.
How is it that you are always ending up at work with people that have these crushes on you wanting to do romantic stuff? That's a romantic watch movie, isn't it? That's like a Netflix and chill
No,
movie. Is
no,
it not? What am
no.
I thinking of? I thought it was like a love film in
Very far
space.
from it.
Yeah, it's not about Julia Roberts and uh fucking Mel Gibson or something in space.
No.
Fucking hell. I've been watching the wrong memes.
Matthew McConaughey's in it.
He was
Not
in
Mel.
Contact.
Yeah, he
This is one
wasn't.
of the
Wasn't Mel
yeah,
Gibson.
one of the
Uh,
best movies ever, Contact.
Matt Damon's in it. Matt Damon's kind of a bad guy in the movie.
You know, Matt Damon was a bad guy in the movie Dogma.
Never seen it.
Oh, you should watch Dogma. If for nothing else, to see Alanis Morissette play the role she was meant to play.
Which is?
God.
Hmm.
She doesn't even speak. It's fantastic.
Really?
Yeah, she makes like an autistic screech and it explodes many people's heads, but but still a great fucking movie. It would definitely be like a movie fun to watch at work, but probably not in a group.
Hmm. I'll have to. I don't know. I'll have to look at that one.
These dogs want to perform, man.
Yeah, can't do nothing with them, man.
Yeah. So, um, you and I were talking about this before we actually started, but how about these yeah, these freedom flights that are happening? I'm really excited about them.
I want you to tell the audience exactly what you told me earlier about a freedom flight.
A freedom flight is where you are free to take your ass back home and see if your mama will play with you, because we're not. We're going to fly you back to Colombia, fly you back to Mexico, fly you back to Guatemala. And you're not going to ride first class. You're going to ride soldier class in the back of a C-17.
So soldier class.
Soldier class. Like 90-90. That's how you sitting all the way back to wherever the hell you came from illegally up into my backyard. Now you got to go home. So bye-bye.
So I went to the barber shop a couple days ago, and there's this old guy in there, and he's like, "Man, I would hate to work for ICE right now." He's like, "They ain't gonna get no days off for like 3 years."
Yeah. Man, I tell you, dude. Yeah, so a lot of ins and outs about the Freedom Flight. Can't speak today. The Freedom Flights. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, well, Colombia has denied the flights, not letting them land." Did you hear about this at all?
No, not a bit.
Oh my gosh, man, we got a Straight Arrow News, We the 66. I mean, come on, we got to get you into some kind of news rotation here.
I have an issue watching the news. You know, like
So
I don't know what's valid and what's not. I don't want to be one of them old people that's like they turn on Fox News when they turn on CNN and then they try to figure out what's right.
nah. Well, maybe it would. Maybe I'll get you one of those subscriptions to that news source where they tell you who reported the story, if it's leaning left, if it's leaning right, and things like that, and how much agreement across the news board there is to it. I know that We the 66 use it, and I believe that some other outlets use it as well.
Hmm.
But okay, so um, freedom flights finally said it right. Started taking off, taking folks home. Bye bye. Well, Colombia revoked landing privileges for all American aircraft.
Mm.
Said you cannot land on Colombian soil. So the current administration, being the absolute ibex cowboys that they are, uh, slapped a huge executive order out saying that for the next week, anything coming into the country from Colombia is going to be tariffed at 25%, that all diplomatic visas and family members are going to be expelled from the country, that all bank accounts held by the Colombian government in America are going to be frozen. And just, I mean, put down a huge list of you done fucked around and now you finding out. And within like 12, 24 hours, I can't remember which one it was, the president of Colombia said, I will send my personal jet
I've
to
seen
come,
that.
to come and get my folk. And look, the tariffs, man, Trump wasn't playing. He said this week it's 25%, next week it's 50. I'm like, none of us are going to have bananas. Bananas are finally going to go up from 49 cents a pound. Blake, seriously, have you ever been to the store and seen a banana on sale for a different price than 49 cents per pound?
I'm going to be completely honest with you. Uh, I guess this is going to be middle class privilege. I don't know, but I've never looked at the price of a banana, ever,
Mm, yeah.
ever.
So forever, bananas have been 49 cents per pound, but a lot of them come from Colombia. So
Mm-hmm.
now they're going to be like 62. I don't know how we're going to make it.
Yeah, that's bad. That's
Yeah.
really bad. Yeah. And this is the outlandish, wild stuff that that happened, 4 years ago, 5, 6 years ago, whatever his first term was, absolutely wild.
I think this is much more unhinged.
I agree.
And I'm not mad about it either. I think it's about time. Like, go in there, cut up. You're the president. Yeah, get a blowjob, whatever. I don't care.
Clinton.
Um, don't nut on the dress. Just we don't need to see that again. But yeah, and I'm just like I'm okay with this. But I do remember at the beginning of the first Trump presidency, there was some like wild and outlandish stuff, and then he started playing nice to try and get kind of the left back onto the table and make everybody happy, um, and then he kind of got into a rhythm and where everything was kind of okay. And so it's like, man, I wonder now he doesn't really have to cozy up to the left at all
Yeah.
because he's got everything. He's got the House, he's got the Senate, he's got the country. I'm like, dude's going to go off the chain. It's either going to be a huge success or a devastating failure.
You know, you're absolutely right with this time is a lot more unhinged. Like I watched the his inauguration address and I'm like, just chill, man. Like rock on, it's your first day in the house, you're trying to make an example, but there's some stuff that's just absolutely stupid. We're renaming the Gulf of Mexico. Like, dude, come on now. This is freaking stupid.
Man, if you don't dream big, do you dream at all?
And now we're like gonna go start a war with Panama because of the Panama Canal, which in his defense, like that was absolutely stupid. We should not have let that go. That should not have let that go. What administration did that? The Panama Canal?
I believe that was Obama.
Was it?
I believe. I don't think it's something that a Republican would have done. So I don't think Bush would have done it. But it seems like it just feels like something Obama would have done.
Can I? I'm going to ask you about a conspiracy theory.
I like it.
Do you think Michelle was a man? Is a man?
No.
Because we were talking about that the other day, and like I will forever refer to her as Big Mike now, because that's like what some radio talk show is referring to her as, and that's just what I refer to her as now. But like that is a conspiracy that like uh I can't remember the name I heard. It was something Robinson, but that they think that's what her name was.
Yeah,
That's a conspiracy, like where it's uh trailed to.
I like it. It's kind of fun. No, I think Michelle Obama, when Barack Obama was president, was one of the best first ladies. I think she had a social issue that she was on, that she didn't, she wasn't able to make any policy. She was only able to influence it. And it wasn't really, you know, like that's what I want a first lady to do is to tackle school lunches. Yes, please do that. Did she do it right? No, I don't think so. But she had her little cause, and we did. I I remember in the old days what school lunches were: square damn pizza, and if you were lucky, a chocolate milk.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the good days when you got the chocolate milk. And most of the time, it was just milk, and you were just
Mm-hmm.
kind of like, hopefully, it'll open without tearing into like the fuzzy
Oh
stuff.
yeah, that was the worst, man.
Yeah, fucking hated that. So yeah, I mean, but now once the Obamas got left the White House, I think she went buck wild. And I don't like her so much post first lady, but I thought she was kind of a classy first lady, and you know, I did not have issues with her like I did with Jill Biden.
What did Jill Biden do? Anything? Like what was her thing?
Propping up Joe Biden. I mean, so after that debate, that whole, oh, Joe, you did so good. You answered all the questions. It's like, the fuck? Like, wasn't he supposed to?
Man, I think that was 100% the turning point of like we have got to do something about him because he got that debate was a complete shit show.
Yeah. I didn't even watch it. And I like tried to watch it on a replay. And I was like, nope, I can't stand to see a sitting president just mumble and grumble and just the only thing I really hated about Bush Jr. was he was not a speaker. Like when it mattered, he gave one of the most important speeches ever.
Mm,
Uh, and he wasn't even in the White House. He was on a pile of rubble. We hear you, and soon they will hear you too.
yeah,
Still remember it.
yeah,
But
that was a cool speech for. Never mind. I'm not gonna get on that conspiracy.
yeah, and I mean, and that was impromptu. Like that, it was like there was no way to write that one.
Yeah,
So, so
today America was attacked by a faceless coward. Yeah, I remember that. I remember the after effect of it. You know,
yeah. And I mean, the CIA's never had a face. Neither has BlackRock or Blackwater or whatever Cheney's company was, Halliburton.
Halliburton. Yeah,
Yeah, they've never had a face. Not Cheney's.
yeah, Halliburton. You know, I listen to a lot of people. My other podcasts that I listen to, and everybody that deployed, like Halliburton was on everything. Like that was the number one source. And like, if that doesn't tell you that war is a money making thing, I don't know what will.
I don't even know why it was so important to him. Like at his age, like, dude, you got it. You don't have to. You're not saving up to buy a Pontiac Grand Am. I mean, what the fuck? Like, you're fine. You're gonna have a Suburban for the rest of your life. You know.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he has no heartbeat.
Hmm?
He's on LVAD.
Cheney is?
Yeah,
Did not know that.
yeah, he's been on LVAD for a long time.
Hmm.
Yeah, and so I guess he's not gonna die. Good old Cheney.
Yeah. Um, Pre 9/11, that was a very weird time. Do you think Bush should have got elected a second time if 9/11 didn't happen?
Probably.
Think so?
Yeah, because I mean, I'm trying to think of who he ran against.
What was it? Kerry?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that was kind of like the emergence of woke. Like that's when people were waking up. That's when the left was really kind of getting its feet underneath it, and especially about acceptance and stuff like that. And I think we needed that. I really think that we're a better country because of it. Has it gone a little too far? Yeah, but we always do that. We swing one direction, we figure out how bad we are, we swing to the other direction, way beyond that. We figure out how bad we are, we swing back, maybe not so far, and we just finally just kind of come into a little ebb and flow somewhere in the middle where we're better all around.
Hmm.
But I'm there's no way to say if he would have gotten reelected or not because it happened so early in his presidency.
Hmm.
There's nothing else to do.
Yeah, and like I don't think we had seen some terror up until that point, like some big terror like that, like maybe Pearl Harbor. And then like what else happened? Like there's a few shootings here and there, a few bombings, uh, and then like 9/11. Like you can't. There's nothing that compares to that. I don't think.
So, did you know that um, the World Trade Center was bombed before 9/11?
1993.
Yeah, I believe so. Somewhere early in that time frame. And, you know, it was a shock to everybody and it changed a lot of things. But then they thought that, it would never be bad. It could never be bad again. So 9/11 wasn't the first domestic terrorist or the first uh, international terror on domestic ground. We've had domestic terrorists, and they were usually political activists responding to governmental overreach. Like
Mm-hmm.
Timothy McVeigh, he
Yep.
was making a statement about Ruby Ridge. Not the statement that should have been made, but uh, I agree that Ruby Ridge was not done was inappropriate.
That shit's wild. That was wild, man.
Yeah, it was.
And if people say the government won't do something like that, you're wrong. There's so many cases where they've done some off the wall shit.
Yeah, I don't fuck with the government. I don't fuck with the police. Just leave me alone. I ain't bothering nobody. I'm out here in the old rickety house, and I just got two dogs and like a Honda. I'm good. Just leave me be.
And no weapons because they all sunk in the lake.
Guns kill people. I would not have any.
I agree, 100%. They
Guns are
do kill
bad.
people. Hmm.
Guns are so bad. I think only cowards need guns.
Yeah, and why do we need guns anyway? I mean, the police and government is going to protect us.
Yeah, just like they did at Ruby Ridge
See?
and Waco
Yeah.
and Waco. Because all those dangerous churchy kids.
Let me tell you something funny about Waco. So, uh, Um, I've got a work trip. I've got to go down to Texas in the mid-February for work, and I'll be gone a week. But my wife wants to go to Waco
I
because
I want you to go.
so there's some show that she watches on TV. What it's Chip and Joe Gaines. They've got like some shop down in Waco that she wants to go, and
Yeah, the Shiloh.
you know about
Yeah, the silo, not Shiloh. The silo.
it. Yeah, so I don't know anything about it because I don't watch that show. And I was telling a guy from work, I'm like, yeah, when we fly into Texas, we're gonna go make a trip down to Waco. And he's like, for what? You fascinated with the cults? And I was like, I didn't even think about that being down there.
It's there, and there's a welcome center, and you can walk that ground. Go there. Do it.
Really?
Yes, do it. Do it.
Have you
Get your
done
ass
that?
down. No, but if I go to Texas, I'm going.
Man,
Yes. Um, so I pretty much feel like I am married to Joanna Gaines because I've given that woman so much of my money. I mean, it's just really sensible, good looking stuff. So if you're a guy like me who doesn't really know how to decorate, I mean, then you just go and buy you some Joanna Gaines stuff and stick it in your house and it looks good. Just telling you.
yeah, I need to go down there, which we're gonna do it anyway. It's something she wants, so we'll do it. But I might check the whole place out and take some pictures.
Yeah. Yeah, but if you need to get something for your wife to make her like you again, just go to Target. They got a whole Joanna Gaines section.
Do they?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Joanna Gaines. My little my little chair cover blanket thing made by Joanna Gaines. Probably her own hands or some children that she captured and is making do stuff. But don't know that. I don't know anything about their production, but I know that she makes good stuff and or puts her name on good stuff and it looks nice and so I buy it.
I know you follow this a whole lot more than I did, but like with the Secretary of Defense, why did it come down to a split vote that Vice President Vance had to um, vote on? Like that's unheard of. Why? Because the dude looks great on paper, but like, why did it come down to the wire?
So it's not that rare for it to happen. Um it I I don't I'm not a political historian, but there have been a lot of appointments that have come down to a vice president's tie-breaking vote. Um, I think Kamala Harris had to pass tie-breaking votes as well, and um, Joe Biden back when he was alive, he probably did. That man's been dead too. He's probably on some kind of Cheney shit. Um, so I think one of the big things holding Hegseth back from his appointment was this grumbling of domestic violence in his past, and the fact that um, he's not a career. Well, and so this is what I kept hearing a lot, and I didn't understand. They're like, "Well, you're not a career military man," and I'm like, "How long do you think somebody has to be in the military?" I mean, he made it to the rank of major. I mean, you don't get that in 2 years.
Yeah.
And you know why? It's just major is a field officer. It's
Hmm.
like that's you have broken out of the baby officer league and you're now in the big leagues. And I'm like, why would that be a thing? Um, so there was a lot of people on the moderate side that were like, well, he isn't experienced to be running the military. And I'm like, I don't know how. Like, what do you think it takes? And then the non-moderates, the people that are far left, they were fixated on this accusation of domestic violence. Now, I would love to know how many people serving in Congress have been accused of domestic violence or sexual assault or DUIs, because that was another thing they brought up, was some drinking on the job thing. And I'm
Hmm.
like, what jobs has he had? He was a soldier. He's a TV guy on Sunday morning. Like, maybe he's still drunk. I don't know. Um, I mean, I would, if I was hanging out at his house and he was like, "Hey, let's stay up till 6 o'clock in the morning drinking," I'd be like, "Oh, this is gonna hurt, but I'm gonna do it."
Yeah, I don't know, he seems really good, like he's got those Christian values and things like that. And I really appreciate that he's like not coming off of that, because I think that's easy to do. But like he looks good, and from the little bit of him talking at their hearing that I seen, like he sounds great. And maybe being a career officer, like maybe they're wanting like a general or something like that, like you had with Mattis.
Yeah, I I guess I don't know, but I think it's a great appointment. I also like I've been trying to figure out who is Trump trying to set up as a legacy, and you know if it's Pete Hegseth to run as the next Republican nominee, is it Rubio, which I think would be not a bad idea. Um, I was actually Team Rubio when he ran, uh, in 2016, I believe.
Yep.
I think he's an incredibly smart guy. I think he's a great speaker. Uh, JD Vance, I, I I don't know of anything bad that I want to say about him. I just also don't know of anything good I want to say.
You know, one thing I appreciated about Vance was when he had the debate against Walsh, he talked like he had some damn sense. Like there wasn't none of this bashing one another. Like it was a debate that pre-Trump, like I think Trump kind of broke the mold when it comes to debates. I really dislike that about him. Uh because like you're there just to see what the man's gonna say. Like, you just want to hear some of this outlandish stuff he says. It's rare that he talks about like actual politics. You know, I'll throw you in jail and like all this stupid shit that he says, but like Vance actually had some sense.
Yes. And I do like that about him. But yeah, I just don't know that much about him. I don't know anything about his voting history. I don't know how he's performed in Congress. But he's not made any waves. He is an Appalachia boy, so he's got my heart.
Where's he from? I thought he was from out west.
No, I think he's from West Virginia.
No shit.
Google it.
All right, I got it. He's from Ohio.
Hmm. No, he's a senator in Ohio, from Ohio, right?
Place of birth was
Was Ohio?
Middletown, Ohio.
Okay. Somebody was talking about him being a boy from Appalachia, and I was like, oh, well, no, I just gotta love him. It's like the rules. Like Queen Dolly will come down and smack you if you don't love other people from Appalachia.
Oh, Queen Dolly.
She's our queen, man. She's the queen of our double wide trailer. So yeah, it's like this accusation on Pete Hegseth about the domestic violence thing. It's never come clear. It's never, and what's really messed up about it. It is the sister of the woman who's making the accusation. It's not the woman that he was involved with.
He had a previous marriage, right?
Yeah, and I believe it's from her. And sometimes people don't get along.
Yeah. But one thing about DV in general is like the for it to be considered domestic violence, there has to be a perceived threat. You being a masculine man, the female can always say like I felt threatened. That by definition is a perceived threat, you know? So like he might not even put his hands on her.
I think all of that got turned up on his head with the Johnny Depp trial. And I don't think we have to live in a world where it's the woman's more weighted voice against the man.
It's
It is
always
no,
been like that though, man. Like you look, especially in the South, like you have child custody, that woman's getting the kids. Like it's always the man's fault. There's very rare cases where the man's going to get custody and they have to prove the woman's a piece of shit. Like that's one of the things about the justice system that's effed up is that.
yeah, I agree. It's so unfair. I've known so many men that were bullied and just lived in absolute fear because their wife or girl or whatever the hell was like, all I have to do is call 911. I could literally slap myself in the face and you'll be in jail and you'll lose everything immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's I don't know. I've been in situations where I was mad enough to hit folks, and I've been in situations where folks were so mad that they hit me. And I don't think it's something. I don't think it's a knot that's easily untied in any kind of way. But what is really significant to me is that there's no proof of it. There's no. It's all just this affidavit that came out.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, but nobody can find a police report. Nobody can find a picture of somebody with a black eye or anything like that. I'm just not interested in it. And
Let me tell you, if it actually happened, like there'd be a police report everywhere. Everybody would see it, you know?
yeah, and and for that senator during the confirmation hearing to say, would you say that that would disqualify somebody from the job? I really wanted Hegseth to look at him and say, would we say the same for anybody serving in Congress?
It was, that's something else I saw is like, just the reels of those little short back and forths. Um, he answered the questions okay, and he kept us cool, which is really cool.
He's a speaker. He's a well educated speaker. Not like us where we use multiple verbal stalls all the time.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's really fine. I think most people are coming here for that.
That's fine. Leave a comment if you do.
Yeah, it's some sort of weird AMSR or ASMR. I don't know. That's
ASMR, yeah. I was like,
the shit you listen to when you're like trying to concentrate or go to sleep or something. I don't know.
man, I remember when TikTok first really like got big around the COVID time, and that's all that was on there is these people that buy these damn microphones and they like oh god, that just infuriated me, man. Like rattling bags and tapping on the damn microphone and stuff like that. Like it infuriated me.
What were those chips that had to rebrand themselves? Sun chips because the bag was so damn loud. Yeah.
I don't know about
You,
that.
well, because you don't eat healthy like I do.
You are so full of shit.
And I mean, I ate sun chips, not sour cream and onion, because I'm better than some people.
Yeah, some people.
but some people.
I
Uh,
eat baked lays, brother.
oh my god, it just tastes like regret.
It's
Like
fine. It's fine.
it's like I want to be happy, but I don't deserve to be happy, so I'm going to eat baked lays. Yeah, that's fucking. I hate those chips. Kettle chips, they're even healthier than baked chips.
I hate those, man. So like I like eating hard stuff, like a good bite out of an apple. Like I love that. But like kettle chips, absolutely not.
Would you say taking a bite out of the apple has a very satisfying sound?
It is a cool sound.
Yeah, no. So I found some at Sprouts, man. They are made in avocado oil and they
Ah,
are super healthy. And, I don't go to really exotic reaches with my chips. I like the organic cheese puffs from Cheetos.
mm.
Uh, I like the organic Doritos with the white cheddar cheese instead of the orange cheddar cheese that gets all over your hands and makes you feel like you've been doing something bad to Chester.
Or Donald Trump.
I'll do it to Daddy. Tell me you
Mm.
want it, Dad. Tell
Donnie
me.
T.
Come on, come on. I can keep my mouth shut for a very low price, probably around $2 million. Just saying.
You remember like people would be like, would you do this for $4 million? Like I would do some shady shit for like $20, at this point in my life. Like
Yeah. Come at me with a dozen eggs. See what I'll do. Ah, shit.
I'll do some shady stuff, man.
Yeah. Same. 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 Same.
So what
Yeah.
else what else do you have on your horizon that's like things that's happened?
So have you've heard about these ships that are dragging their anchors across the Atlantic and fucking up the internet?
I haven't heard that, no.
Hey, I if you go east far enough, there's an ocean.
Yeah.
And we have to talk to the people on the other side of that ocean. So we put down a bunch of communication cables to
Yeah.
cross that. And then we pissed off Russia. So they got some boats to come and scrape those lines off the bottom of the ocean floor. And now um, the Swiss are boarding the ships to investigate it.
The neutral Swiss.
Yeah. Do you know where else you see Swiss military people? In the smallest country on the planet,
The
Vatican City.
Vatican. Yeah. Was that the Swiss, the Swedish Guard?
Yep.
Okay.
Those are those are Swedish soldiers looking like a bunch of weird, what were those ponies that everybody wanted to be? That's what I always think about. Like My Little Ponies and stuff, where they
Uh,
were all kinds of pastel colors and fluffy.
yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah. And now they are boarding ships. And I'm like, I just I don't know if I would be intimidated by that, entertained by it, or what. It
You know
probably
they
would be.
ain't they ain't boarding the ship all fluffy and stuff.
You don't know, man. The Swiss don't give a damn. They make
They
army
don't
knives, man.
that man, this Swiss Army knives ain't good for anything.
Shit, when I was in fourth grade, if you had one, you were the man. You could open a can of spaghetti and probably like whittle. I mean,
And maybe you'll get a cork out of a bottle of wine.
yeah. And it's like The bigger your Swiss Army knife, the more panache you carried with it.
I can't remember the company, but they're like making the Swiss Army knives, but they're actually like good quality. Like actually have a decent blade on it and stuff like that. And I think they're a lot bigger.
Um, I don't know. I have one. It's in my backpack. It's maybe about the size of a dick, and uh, it's pretty. I got it on like the stocking stuffer aisle at REI.
I need to go back to REI. I ain't been there in a minute.
Yeah, I went there last week. I was looking for something specific, and they didn't have it, so I was like, well,
Hmm.
but
I
good
went
store.
near one not too long ago, and it was like I was compelled to go in there, but I was like, I just want to go back home. I'd been out all day.
Yeah, I used to like to go there with Max, my nephew, and we would spend all of my money there, but we would look alike, and he would then have weapons.
Oh, Max.
Yep. Buy him knives and hatchets and stuff. And I'm going to tell you, if you're not intimidated by the Swiss coming on board your sailing vessel, a 4-year-old with a hatchet chasing you through the woods, gotcha.
I'm surprised the Swiss like participated in a maritime operation. Like that's wild. Like they're not known for that.
Well, they messed up the internet, and apparently they really like the internet.
Apparently, gotta
Yeah,
roll some people up.
don't be messing with the Swiss internet, man.
Do
They
you
got to talk.
remember that? Do you remember that Navy SEAL that got killed? There's two of them. They got killed trying to board that boat. They
Yeah, it's been
finally about
about
a
a
year.
year or so ago.
Yeah, the Navy finally concluded their investigation and released it. Like one of them fell in the water and started to drown. The other one jumps in there to help him. They both drown. But they're about to board a ship. So they're in full battle rattle, all that fun stuff, and nobody had a flotation device on them. That was like the biggest thing. Because you got to think, just the body armor itself, you can probably add 25 pounds just in plates and a couple mags, plus their heavy ass radio, all the guns and their belts, and they ain't in wetsuits and flippers. They're in boots and camis.
So just more evidence that guns kill people. Just putting that
Mm,
out there. But surely they some point in time trained to not drown with all that gear on.
that's still a lot of gear, man. And they said that like when they hit the water, they weren't in the. I mean, they were in the water a long time because I don't think they ever recovered their bodies, but they went under in a matter of seconds and never returned.
I watched some of the coverage of this. I know like a little bitty bit, not enough to really speak much about it, but um, it was at night. I don't know who's looking for him, but battle buddy rules. If you go, I go. So
Mhm,
first guy goes in the water, second guy goes in the water. He may
mhm.
not have even known that there was a problem. He might have just thought, well, we're supposed to be in the water, and so he went. And um, the boat was moving, so there was a wake. So when you hit the water, you're already going to be in the wake. I don't know where they were. I know that if you fall in the water closer to the back of the boat, that you have more of a chance of getting pulled under the boat.
Yeah,
Where towards the front of the boat, you'll most likely just be pushed out away from it. I don't know why I know that. I think I know that from the story of the Andrea Gale. which was The Perfect Storm. If you ever watched that movie or read that book, one of the best books by a great author named Sebastian Younger,
Hmm.
who also did a fantastic documentary about a little outpost called Restepo.
Restepo.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. And then wrote a book about freedom. So, and then had a AAA and almost died. Pretty cool. Not well, that part was not maybe as cool, but yeah.
Triple H's are kind of a big deal.
Yeah. I've never dealt with one.
Not fun, brother.
Yeah.
Not fun.
There's probably some pucker factor on that. Like, oh, why did your mean just drop to 40?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's literally how quick it'll happen. Like, pressure was halfway good. Now it's not. And there's not shit you can do about it.
Put more into the system. Yeah. But yeah, so it's an interesting and horrifying and sad situation.
Yeah, for sure.
But I really like when I heard about it, and I've heard that, oh well, they were wearing too much stuff. I don't know that I've ever seen them with any kind of flotation device. Um, I think that that's kind of one of the things that they focus on is swimming.
You know, but in full kit like that, like that's just something that doesn't happen. And I really don't think you can I don't think you can be as good of a swimmer and be able to, your boots, you're in pants, you've got a battle belt on that's got more mags and guns and your body armor, and they're all wearing like breaching tools and supplies to do whatever they need to do, and helmets, nods, and I don't think they had a chance. But they make
I'm
like
just saying, I'm just saying that if you and I were Navy SEALs, or if we were even like Navy Sea Lions or Navy Dolphins, whatever, I feel like you and I would be out in the ocean swimming and all that shit just to see if we could.
maybe in a damn 4 foot pool. If
Well,
something happens, I can stand up.
there ain't no damn 4 foot pool in the ocean. We got to get out there. Like you might make it home, you might not. Have you watched the Iceman documentary?
I know the Iceman Chuck Liddell.
Hmm. No, this is a guy from Norway who decided to do an Ironman distance on Antarctica.
Ugh.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so I already don't like it cold, and I was like, hard no for me. Um, I will do my Ironman in the southern states. Thank you very much. But yeah, so he does an Ironman distance on Antarctica, and he does not earn an Ironman time. There's, it's not an Ironman sanctioned event, but he does the distance. And so, like, there's all these times where he's training, he's swimming in the cold, cold water. And I'm like, and so, like, he'll like get the boat to take him out and then swim back in because he's like, then I have no choice. That's, that's where I'm going.
Yeah.
If I want to get there, I'll have to go there.
I don't want to do anything around Antarctica.
I would. I would
Would
like
you?
to go there. Yeah. Have you ever seen that movie Eight Below? I get to go down there and play poker with dogs.
Antarctica is that thing that surrounds the globe that holds all the water around
Yes.
because the Earth's flat.
Yep. Yep. But we've never walked up to it and opened the door and waved goodbye.
Because the government's keeping you away from it, man.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. It's a big conspiracy with Garmin to make you think that you're going around in a circle.
You know what? I can buy that. You know why
Yeah.
the stars are there?
What's that?
You know why the stars are out?
Yeah,
It's
because Elon Musk turned them on.
no, it's because they poke holes in the firmament and so we can breathe.
Uh,
Hmm.
there's holes
See?
in the top of our jar.
The old firmament, man.
Yeah. Just like when I caught lightning bugs when I was a kid, poked holes in the top.
Yeah, see,
Hope
we're
you,
just like lightning bugs.
I
Katy
hope you
Perry
make
was
it.
right.
I hope you make it, and I hope you don't stink in 2 days. That's all I got going on.
Because, like,
Yes.
man, the government, they be doing some stuff, man. Like, you want somebody killed? Like, unpopular opinion, I think the JFK assassination, I think that was a mob hit that was orchestrated by the CIA. I believe that the CIA absolutely killed MLK. I think, yeah, there's a lot of things, you know.
Didn't Trump just order those files to be declassified?
That's gonna be wild. But the CIA ain't gonna have it on any file saying, "Yeah, we want this dude dead," because he'd be damn telling people shit.
You don't know, man. They be wild. They like coyotes. They be wild.
Yeah, there's some effed up stuff, man. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'll be glad to start bringing in some of my conspiracies tomorrow, and we can unload on what the government be doing.
So thanks everybody for joining us for this little conversation. There are two dogs right there making out in some kind of way.
Yeah,
Um, if you're lucky, you may have seen their buttholes sometime tonight. Probably more entertaining than listening to me speak. He thinks so.
hmm. But yes, good talk. And if you like what you see, like, subscribe, and it's worth subscribing just to see the dogs.
It really is, especially because that little one's a corgi, so corgi power. And one lucky subscriber is going to be able to join us on the podcast one day.
Yes, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
I would like that.
yeah. Just zoom in. We'll put you in another little box somewhere around in there, and join us in our conversations. You might have something good to talk about.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it couldn't be any worse than what we're talking about.
Oh God, no.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.